Welcome back, everybody. Hey, guess who's back? Nudgy's back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? This is episode 1 of season 6. We'll just make that up.
6 isn't right.
Too high, too low?
I think it's too high. I think it's too low.
Season 7?
Yeah, I think we're at season 7.
We're wherever you want to be.
Yeah, we really are. Because we are back, everybody.
We are.
Woo! How you feeling?
I feel great.
Yeah, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really worked hard at it.
Yeah. You living happily ever after, I see?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I certainly am.
Where'd you get that pillow?
Right on the floor.
Yeah, where'd you get it from? On the floor.
On the floor.
Someone gave it to you?
It's Walshy's.
Is it?
I don't know. It's in this room.
Did you bring that?
No.
I can't.
Not mine.
I ain't living happily ever after. Are you kidding me?
That pillow has been here since I started.
Yeah, that pillow needs to leave.
Probably
Yeah.
came from your sister.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not her style.
All right.
The other pillow is more her style, the one I'm leaning on.
I can see that.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
flashy, some flair.
Yeah, she bought those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. That's right up her alley. So a little different format today because we don't have a guest.
Mm-mm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit, and then we're just going to kind of recap our lives. And just, I feel like we have to ease into it because it's been so long. We haven't probably done a podcast in, 6 months.
Yeah.
People all over the state are asking me, where's the podcast been? Do you get a lot of questions like that?
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said it was they said, are you still doing your YouTube channel? Do we have a YouTube channel?
We should start
We
one.
do.
We have one.
We do, yeah.
Really?
And do we put this podcast on the YouTube channel?
We do.
Then I think everybody out there should subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Click subscribe.
Isn't that what they do?
Yeah.
That's how you get,
Hit the like button and then subscribe.
I
'cause it
think
really
we
helps.
I think we have like 40 subscribers.
we need more than that, people. Get out there and subscribe. So
Free T-shirt for those who subscribe. Right? We get T-shirts, right?
I don't think we have any, actually.
We'll get some.
All right, well, Keithy, what's going on in your life, buddy?
Busy time of year, dude.
Yeah?
As you know.
Yeah, with what?
Just everything, right?
You know what? I'm sick of people telling me they're busy.
Well,
I'm sick of it. I've had enough. Everybody's busy, Keith.
no,
Yes.
not everybody.
Most people.
Most people are busy. It's just a busy time of year.
Yeah, but I'm so busy.
I didn't say. All I said was it's a busy time of year. The time of year is busy.
Yeah, but you could. What time of year is not busy?
July and August.
No, you're still busy.
Not
Yeah,
really.
camps.
No, that's all boats and fishing and
You're busy.
no work.
You're busy doing that.
Busy doing fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still busy.
Meh.
So what would you rather do than be busy? Do you want to sit around your house and do nothing?
I'd love to have a day like that. Yeah, that'd be great.
You wouldn't last.
Like chicken wings on, just Netflix and do not. That'd be.
You wouldn't
great.
do it though.
You jump out of your skin.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love that. Like a night off from. I won't say my wife, but like the kids.
Like,
So you don't like your
life
family.
stresses.
You don't like your
I
family.
love my family to death.
You just need some time off.
Just one day,
What would you do?
I'd sit at home, lock all the doors and windows. I'd order.
Turn the heat up.
Yep, order Chinese food,
Turn the heat up.
and and I would watch Netflix
Naked. Because the heat's up.
I'd
With a bowl of wings.
I probably have pants on. I'd take the shirt off.
Yeah, definitely.
obviously.
I mean, because where are you going to wipe your hands, right?
Right here.
I don't think you'd do that. So this is what I think you would do. You'd wake up, then you'd go outside and start doing shit around the house that needed to get done because you have a day to do it. And then you'd be bored after that. And you'd be looking for shit to do. That's what I think. I think you need to stay busy. I don't think people should be complaining about being busy, is my point.
No, I agree with you. And I wasn't complaining about being busy. I was saying it's a busy time of year.
Root beer.
It's a busy time of year.
I plead the fifth.
No, you can't plead the fifth. This is not. It's not. No, against who?
I think there's
I give you immunity.
two different kinds of busy. There's busy like active, running around, family,
Yeah.
responsibilities, and then
Yeah.
there's busy like work, busy things you have to get done that you don't necessarily want to. So there's a fun busy and a necessary busy.
Okay, but most of your busy is fun busy, as I would say. That's what I would say to you. So you should be enjoying it. Because sooner or later it's over. OVA, as we saw last week.
Over. Active.
And it just ends like that.
That.
And it's all over root beer, but the crying. Yeah.
A lot of crying. A lot of crying.
Lot of crying.
A lot of tears.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Keith and I are lucky enough to coach the Duxbury girls high school team, which lost in the Elite Eight a week ago. Just a week ago? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like forever ago, lifetime ago. But we had some girls that were pretty upset.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it's over for them. All the seniors. We had 8 seniors. Is that right? 8?
Yeah, 2 goalies.
5 forwards.
And
Yeah. 8.
D.
Well, Addie's not a senior. But we had 8 girls whose high school hockey career ended in the blink of an eye.
God.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And it's sad, but we get to go back. What was that movie?
Do we?
What's the movie I'm thinking of? And the guy's like, you know what's great about...
They stay the same age.
Yeah, I get a year older and they stay the same age.
Seniors.
Yeah. What's that movie? Dazed and Confused?
Dazed and Confused. It is.
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
His commercials are the worst.
I love him.
I like
Stop,
his
because he's handsome.
He is handsome.
I mean,
And he's got a nice voice. But the shit that comes out of his mouth is ridiculous.
I love it.
My Lincoln Town Car. I just love it. It's like riding on a cloud.
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he's great.
Do you really?
Great actor.
Yeah.
Handsome as hell.
What else was
He's
he in
just
besides Dazed and Confused?
Laid back. The way he talks
Lincoln
about
Lawyer?
his wife is great.
Does he like his wife?
Loves her.
Mm.
In public.
Yeah. Like to see him on a Tuesday when he's busy,
Yeah.
running around to the
After
rink.
Losing the Elite Eight.
Yeah, he doesn't love her then. So anyway, I got made fun of the other day. It's actually an ongoing joke amongst my siblings because I listen to WBZ in the morning, 10:30.
You do.
Yeah.
You do that. I drive with you a lot, and it's always on.
Do you listen to 10? I actually listen to it all day.
Is that news radio?
Yeah.
I absolutely do not listen to that.
You don't at all?
No.
Ever?
No.
My
The news is
My
depressing.
dad does.
How old your dad?
80.
Yeah.
He does.
My dad listened to it.
Yeah.
And that's what I listened to
With your dad.
with my dad. And now I listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
I don't.
But it's so I used to listen to it. My siblings ruined it for me because I was listening to it and I thought it was like good. It's atrocious, and it's the same news loop for every 10 minutes.
Yeah, doesn't change.
And they've been saying the same thing for 40 years. Like there's been traffic in the same spots.
Traffic on the threes.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. There's traffic at the Cloverleaf, right? Coming down 128.
But that's the main reason why you listen to it, though.
Correct.
For the traffic report.
But what I found is they don't report accurately, and they don't report on the roads that I drive on. So I've actually stopped listening to WBZ, which has been a monumentous moment in my life.
What are you listening to now?
I'm just on Pandora. Maybe I throw a podcast on, but I can't listen to podcasts because I don't pay attention. And then halfway through the podcast, I'm not listening anymore. And that doesn't happen with my listeners on this show because it's so exciting. But WBZ has been ruined for me. I just want my siblings to know that. You ruined one of the small pleasures in my life.
That's tough.
Yeah. But it happened. But you don't listen to news radio.
No.
Where do you get your news?
I don't.
What?
From you.
If you get your news from me. Okay.
The news is depressing.
But like, where do you get your weather? Where do you go to get your weather?
I Google it.
Oh, Google. What about you? Where do you get your weather?
Well,
I mean,
That's where most people get their weather.
you don't have the Weather Channel app?
Weather app on
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah. Where do you get it?
well, as you know, I'm a amateur meteorologist.
Good job with
So-
that word. That's a big one for you.
So I have a bunch of people in my network, and so they always send me weather updates.
You have a meteorology network,
Hmm?
but you're not. Are you sending updates, or are you just getting information? Because that would make you a casual observer of meteorology as opposed to a amateur meteorologist.
Oh,
Do you have a barometer at your house?
I do.
No, you don't.
I do. Her name's Jenny.
I don't think that's. I don't think you're a meteorologist. I'm
No.
calling you bluff.
I'm an amateur.
I don't think so.
Well, I am what I say I am.
You can be whatever.
Let's
you wanna
talk.
be.
That's right.
So, all right, we got a little off track. What else is going on? How old's Jenny?
Jenny is 7. Finney's 10. Again, like I was saying earlier, it's a busy time of year with states, hockey tournaments, national hockey tournaments, baseball season starting. Everything's crazy. It's great.
All
It's great.
fun though.
All fun stuff. Yeah,
That's
it's
all
great.
fun.
It's great.
So I'm on the back end of it because
I know
I
you
only
are.
have Hank, and Annabelle's in Dallas.
Yep.
And I went down there and watched her row, her first Division One ACC regatta. No big deal. MBD. No big deal. Just have a Division One athlete in the family. It's actually the second one. You know who the first one is?
You.
You know it. You know it. Yeah, so she's killing it down there. It was cold in Dallas, but we had a wonderful time. And then Rose is doing her cheerleading. She won a national championship, MBD.
Whoa.
Kid's just killing it.
The girls.
Yeah. She's my best athlete, Rose.
How did that shake out with her and the team she was going to go on?
Oh, so I lost that battle. She went on both teams.
Oh, she did.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For all the listeners out there, a little update. She went on both teams,
Okay.
which has been an absolute nightmare. Not for me, necessarily, but for the people that, for her, because she's at practice like 3 hours a day, 4 days a week, which she shouldn't be. It's too much. And then, she goes to it like they have a cheerleading event this weekend, and she competes for one team at like 9:33 or 9:36 or something. It's very specific what time they. And I tell you what, those programs or those events are run on time. Like if they say that group is coming on at 9:36, motherfucker, they are on at 9:36. Do not be late, okay?
Okay.
Because you'll miss it.
Yeah.
And then she competes again at like 7 o'clock. So it's like, what are you gonna do? So if she was only on one team, right, she does her thing at 9:30 or maybe it's 10:30, I don't know. And then you go home and you get the rest of the day. But because she's on these two teams, she's got to stick around.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
Where is this one?
Providence.
Is this local? Okay.
Which is local.
Yeah.
They were in Dallas. They were in Georgia for nationals. They go to Dallas. They go to Florida. It's quite a whirlwind tour that she's on, but she's killing it. She was athlete of the week this week. Athlete of the month. I mean, I'm sorry, at the gym. Athlete of the month. Yeah. Rosie's killing it. Hank's doing his thing. He's starting to work out now.
All right.
Which is great. He's into it. And he's got a big year. He's going to be in high school next year.
Like lifting weights?
Yeah. Pulling sleds and stuff.
What's he putting up right now?
He's not. So this is actually what I liked about this guy. So we went to this guy, and we'll give him a little.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll give him a little pump. Scotty Mitchum, Coach Mitchum in Whitman, and he's got a very unique way of training that's based on math and science, and came from Russia or some crazy. Like sold me. Like I was like, yeah, Russia. Yep, that sounds amazing. How much you want? Here's my checkbook. But it's based on science and math and numbers, which I like. And but he went the first time on Monday, and he wouldn't let him touch any of the weights. He was only allowed to do like pull the sleds, do box jumps, all body weight stuff, because he's not ready to bench press, and he's not ready to deadlift, and he's not ready to squat because he doesn't have the foundation to do those things. Which I thought was great, because usually they would just say, "Okay, throw them into those exercises where they don't have the core strength or the back strength or whatever." So, yeah,
That's great.
yeah. So it's good, Scotty Mitchum.
It's a big year for him coming up.
Huge. I mean, it doesn't make it now; it's over.
Well, I mean, we've given him every opportunity.
I mean, it's 15. If you don't make it, it's over, buddy. 14, however old you are. But so let's just talk a little bit. Let's touch on a subject that's been. Well, let's get into. So let's tell some jokes first. You want to tell some jokes?
I know you're dying to tell your jokes.
Well, I have a lot of jokes.
I didn't really have any.
What do you mean? You say that every year, and then you have really funny ones.
I didn't have time. Well, I have a couple. I printed them out.
How risque do you want to get? I got a couple that are pretty risque.
You're asking me?
I got a couple that are pretty risque.
All right, go ahead. Want to alternate?
Yeah, why don't you go first?
I'll start easy.
Okay.
It might offend some people, but we'll get over it. What do you call a soldier with no legs?
I don't know.
MBT?
Arm E.
So dumb.
All Army.
So little Johnny is at school.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah,
again, huh?
Johnny.
This Johnny guy's busy.
Johnny. So Johnny is at school, and the teacher asks the class, says, "Class, why don't you compare your life to something?" So a little girl raises her hand, and she says, "My life is like a rose because I'm pretty and I smell nice." So little Johnny raises his hand, and he says, "Hey, teach, my life's like a roll of my life's like toilet paper. Either I'm on a roll or I'm taking crap from somebody."
Johnny.
Johnny.
I like Johnny.
All right, what do you got? You're up.
Did you know that male bees die after mating?
I think I actually did know this.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like you would know this because you're
I
like a
did.
farmer.
I did
Yeah.
know that.
Do you have bees at your farm?
Not yet.
What do you have?
Just chickens.
That's it.
At the moment.
I feel like you need to up your
Yeah, I
farming
want
game.
goats.
Yeah.
I want a donkey.
Yeah. I mean, you have a donkey.
Shucks.
Johnny Cops. You have one. Skaboom. I hope you're listening, Johnny Cops.
He doesn't listen.
No, I know, which pisses me off because he rides around in a car all day.
Right.
Put the podcast on, Johnny.
No,
Nothing.
he's a detective now.
But he's still in a car.
No, not really.
He has to drive to
He's at a-
detect things.
A lab. Yeah, for calls. But most of the time he's at a lab.
What's he?
What's he labbing?
Yeah.
Fingerprints,
Ooh.
gun residue.
Ooh. That gun residue.
Yeah.
That's some serious stuff.
You know about that.
I know more about fingerprints because I burnt all mine, so they can't figure out what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, if you burn you can burn your fingertips, your fingerprints off.
No, you can't.
I don't think you can.
Grows back.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Google it.
Johnny Cops, ask him that when you get home.
Okay, I will.
Can you burn your fingerprints off your fingertips?
I mean, I'm sure you could, but I mean, how much? You have to burn a lot of skin off,
Yeah.
and you did that.
No.
Oh.
But if I was going to be a criminal, I would.
Of course, you
Because why would,
Step
as
one.
opposed to putting gloves on, I just,
Step one of being a
as
criminal.
opposed to putting some gloves on, I just burn my
Let me
fingertips
burn
off.
my fingers off.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. So male bees die
Yeah.
right after they mate.
Yeah.
That's basically their life.
Yeah. That's it.
It's honey, nut, Cheerio.
You needed to. You
I need
needed
a
to.
Cheerio.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. That's all about delivery. That one.
Well, you guys went off on a tangent. You messed me. I had it flowing and it was gone. This is a good one. Go ahead.
All right. So there was two guys that they were in the poetry championship, and they had 20 seconds to come up with a poem, and they had to use the word Timbuktu in their poem. So the first guy goes. He's from Harvard and he's super smart. And he says, "On the lonely desert sand, crossed a lonely caravan. Men on camel, 2 by 2. Destination, Timbuktu." Everybody clapped. Oh, that's great. 20 seconds. Good. There was some guy, some country bumpkin comes in and he says, he's the other guy. He says, "Tim and I off hunting went, found 3 girls in a pop-up tent. There were 3 and we were 2, so I bucked 1 in Timbuktu." That's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that one.
So good. So good. What do you got?
Oh, so the other night, Emily asked me to whisper dirty things into her ear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, now.
So I whispered, kitchen, bathroom, living room.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. All right. I got three quick ones. Quick. All right. We're going to go quick with these.
Okay.
What's the difference between a priest and Woody from Toy Story? What's the difference between a priest?
Give up.
Woody goes limp when the kid enters the room.
That's Keith. Oh, Keith, tough.
How do you tell? How can you pick out the blind man on a nude beach? It's not hard. Where does a dad keep his keep his dad jokes? Where does he store his dad jokes?
I don't know.
In a database.
Database.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that one's cute. I had to clean it up after my other two. Last joke. You got one, or I got one more?
I found this. It's nicknames for coworkers.
Okay.
Which I thought was pretty cool. So the nickname is Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Always taking a break. Butter knife. Not the sharpest tool in the box. Nickname is Motion Light.
So Nick would be Kit Kat, but
Yeah. So I'm gonna say you're a motion light. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Only works when someone walks past. E.T. is a great nickname for a coworker. Always wants to go home.
Yeah.
Seaweed floats around all day and stinks like shit.
Oh my God.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
That's Walshy.
You don't want to be.
Aww.
Lantern. That's a good one. That's probably Madison. Not very bright. It has to be carried.
What's wrong with you?
Deck chair. Deck chair. I don't know, but always folding under pressure.
Mm.
And then foreskin. That's probably that's probably my nickname.
Yeah.
It disappears when things get hard.
What is going on today? This is an X-rated episode of Everybody Needs a Nudge. So just if my listeners are out
You
there,
gotta do that
we
in
should
the
do a warning
beginning.
at the beginning.
Yes.
We should make this warning at the beginning.
Okay.
Guess who's back? There was something. Oh, I want to tell my last joke, and then we're going to get into a couple of things that I want to get people's opinion on, and then we're going to wrap up. Okay?
Yeah.
So, an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman they all die. They arrive at the gates of heaven together at the same time. St. Peter's in a bad, bad mood. So he says, I'm in a bad mood. Nobody gets in today unless you can show me something that reminds me of my favorite holiday, which is Christmas. So the Englishman thinks, he takes out his keys and he jingles them. St. Peter says, what is that all about? He says, Christmas bells. Oh, I like it. Come on in. You're in. All right, the Scotsman's thinking. He takes out his lighter and he lights his lighter and he holds it and he waves it back and forth. And St. Peter says, what's that? It's a Christmas candle. Okay, I like that. Come on in. The Irishman takes a bra out of one pocket and he takes a thong out of the others and he's holding them. And St. Peter goes, what are those? And he says, these are carols. He got in.
Did you get in?
Yeah, he got in. Oh, down goes my phone. All right, so let's talk a little bit about leadership here. All right,
All right.
let's get serious. Okay, let's buckle down.
Buckle down.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
This is the part of the show where we teach you something. Okay?
Listen up.
Leadership. What makes a good leader? What's the first thing that pops into your head that you say makes a good leader? No, too long. What's the first thing that pops in your head? What makes a good leader?
Show by example.
Well, that's so cliche. Show by example. Ugh. Can tell you never played sports.
I would say commitment.
Commitment to what, though? Like all the so here's my problem. And this is a problem that I have in today's society, too. This isn't just as it relates to leadership and or this conversation, although you guys fell directly into the trap that I set, which is what a good host does, right?
Show prep.
To me. Those are like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean to lead by example? What does it mean to have commitment? Like,
You don't just tell somebody what to do, you show them by doing it.
okay, I mean, but like what? What do you do?
In what context?
Any
Like,
context.
What are we leading?
Leading a team, you're leading an office. To me, I'm a leader here. Keith's a leader at the Duxbury Youth Hockey, right? You're in charge. You're the boss. So when it's all said and done, people are going to say he did a good job. He was a good leader. He was a good leader. And I don't think, look at, I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know what the answer is. Right? That's why I asked the question. But when questions like that are asked and a cliche gets thrown back at you, there has to be more behind that, I guess is what I'm saying. So like what shows up on time? Like what's the little things? The biggest thing for me, and someone said this to me, because I've been having these conversations about leadership for the last week or so. Someone said to me yesterday, puts the team above themselves. Like to me, that has to be number one. And what I would say to that is like you have to put you have to be able to separate. To be a good leader, you have to be able to separate yourself from the pack, from the people that you're leading. Now you can be friends with those people, but there has to be a level of separation. And you have to be willing to lead them, and it may hurt to lead them, right? It may be difficult to have those conversations, or it may be difficult to make decisions that they don't want you to make or they don't like, at the risk of being not liked in that time frame, in that short box of time, right? Okay, make a decision. You want to do a deal. We're not going to do that deal. And I'm making the decision and you're pissed, right? Okay. So in order to be a good leader, you have to be able to make those decisions regardless of how that person's going to feel, okay, or regardless of what they're going to think of you in that moment. But you also have to build enough of a relationship that a day from now, 2 days from now, that person is going to say, he's still the leader. He still cares about me, just because we have a difference of opinion, or he told me I was doing something wrong, or he told me I had to change my behavior, or he told me that I was having a negative effect on somebody, but he still cares about me.
I think that's the most important piece, is that like mutual respect.
Yes. And no. At the same time. No, I mean, I think the respect part of it is important. So how do you build that? Like, what's the steps? And again, I don't know the answers, but it's just something to think about. I'm putting it out there, right? Like, how do you, and so there was a great saying somewhere, they don't care what you know until they know that you care, right? So the way that I've always gone about it, right or wrong, is to make sure that my players, hopefully my staff here, knows that I care about them. And where I struggle is as a leader, where I struggle is making decisions that I think are going to upset people, or having hard conversations that I think are going to upset people that I care about. That's where I struggle. So how do you balance that to make sure that you're still a good leader? I think the first thing is you have to sort of stay above the fray a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's not one single word that can define leader. I think that's why someone is a leader. It's multiple words to describe that one action or that one thing. It can't be defined as because that's what makes a leader. All these different qualities make that person a leader. It's not just one.
Yeah, and I think that there's a bunch of different leadership styles.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think the fact that you would have, it wouldn't come super easy to say something that you know might hurt somebody is what would make you a good leader. Like
Caring.
You'll do it, but it's not an easy thing for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the difficult part is, like, you're in an office like this, office setting. You're here every day. Most days. I'm not necessarily here every day, but most days you're here, right? So you're interacting on a social level. You're learning about people's lives and people getting married, and you're going to weddings, and you're celebrating the birth of a child, or you're celebrating, Hank going to high school or whatever it is. So you have that friendship that gets created, right? And then you also have to be the boss. And how does anybody handle that situation? Like, what's the right way? And I don't know the answer, but I think leadership is very, very important for any organization. And I would say you're doing a wonderful job with Duxbury Youth Hockey. I'm being serious. You're doing a wonderful job with Duxbury Youth Hockey, and you got it going in the right direction now, and you can feel the energy behind around the program. But you're making decisions that are hard decisions that are different from what Duxbury Youth Hockey has done historically, right?
Yes.
Significant changes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a, we have to adapt. It's not my father's Duxbury Youth Hockey anymore. The whole landscape's changed.
Okay, so I think you used an awesome word there, adapt. Like a leader's ability to change course or path and not get stuck in that, well, we do it this way because this is the way we've always done it. That's a leader, right? Someone that's going to blaze a new trail off of the trail that everybody's been on for all these years or whatever, and take the road less. Who's that? Take the road less traveled. Is that Ernest Hemingway?
Johnny Denver?
No, it's not John Denver. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go.
See what you started?
'Cause I'm leaving. You started it by saying John Denver. I think it's Ernest Hemingway. Take the road less traveled. Can you Google that on your Google machine? Anyway, that's fantastic, right? Adapt. The ability to adapt and change and take the program or the business or the team.
Robert Frost.
Oh, Robert Frost.
Close.
Klaus?
Close.
Oh.
Close.
So, adapt.
Adapt. Great word.
Care. Right? So now we're putting some words, some meaningful words behind what it means to be a leader.
Selfless.
Selfless.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Integrity.
Yep.
Another
That's
good
a good one.
Yeah. To me, inclusiveness.
Yeah.
You don't like that one? You got to be willing to include everybody and have a relationship with everybody on your staff, on your team, in your program.
No, I agree.
Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Have a relationship with each person. So those are the things that I think after having this conversation, make a good leader. So I hope you learned something today. Did you learn anything?
We need a new leader in here.
We need a leader.
Where's our leader?
It's a rudderless ship over here. Headed directly towards the
We're
rocks.
having fun.
We are having fun.
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell a couple stories and then we'll wrap up. All right. I had a bunch of sayings, a bunch of words, but we're going to skip that part. So there's a great story about a female soccer player named Mia Hamm. Do you remember Mia Hamm?
I do.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
dated Nomar.
Noma
Noma.
Garcia Parra, Garcia Parra.
Did they get married? They marry each
Garcia
other?
Parra.
I think they're married.
They're both tremendous athletes.
Very good athletes.
Noma was doing steroids, though, I think.
Whatever you got to do to get to that level, buddy.
His whole body broke down.
Yeah.
Him and Tiger. But that could be a conversation for another day.
Great conversation.
Yeah. Tiger's had a lot of injuries, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but he just ruptured his Achilles heel. So Tiger Woods has had a lot of injuries that could be associated with having too much muscle mass for your body. Tendon injuries, ligament injuries, which could potentially be associated with performance-enhancing drugs.
I was going to say he doesn't look like he has. His muscles are too big for his body.
He's handsome.
I would disagree.
Tiger Woods?
He's not handsome?
I would.
No.
I think he's ripped.
He is ripped.
Is
Jacked.
Yeah, he's jacked. Go
Yeah.
Google him on your Google machine.
I don't want to.
Google the one with his shirt off.
Yeah,
I don't
because you'll be like
You like
swiping
that?
right. That's why you'll be like, is this guy on Tinder? Swipe right. Johnny
who?
Cops. Audi 5000. So Mia Hamm.
Yeah.
Mia Hamm was a senior I think she went to UNC where she played soccer, I think. And one February, her coach was driving on the campus and saw her solo on the field going through their training regimen. and sent her a note, and I liked what was in the note. And what the guy wrote in the note was, the vision of a champion is a player drenched in sweat, bent over in exhaustion when no one is watching. I like that message. I think that's a good message for an athlete. Like, what are you doing
When no one's looking.
when no one's looking?
Yep.
Are you still working hard, or are you, as Nick Saban said, are you spending your time, or are you investing your time? Playing video games is spending your time. Texting somebody in the middle of a podcast is. Oh, you taking notes?
Taking notes.
Okay. As opposed to investing your time, which would be going to the gym or shooting pucks, or I don't know. What's Jenny like to do?
TikTok.
That's spending your time. What's her TikTok handle?
I'm not giving that.
No, do not.
I'm not doing that.
So I like that story about Mia Hamm. She goes on to say that was a transformative moment in her life, because she realized at that point that she understood what it was going to take to make it to the next level for her, which was the U.S. national team. Which is crazy to think about. Like, there's an athlete that she was probably a stud in high school, right? Goes to UNC. She was a stud at UNC. And it wasn't until her senior year at UNC where she had the epiphany of, like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. Like, she was always questioning herself about whether or not she was doing the right thing. And it took this note from the coach who tells the story. He's like, I just wrote the note, put it in the mail. I didn't even think about it. And she then gets the note and describes it as a transformative moment in her athletic career. So you think about again, a little bit on a tangent, but you think about the effect of a coach's words or a leader's words on a kid or a player or an employee or whatever. Like, that coach just jotted down a quick note and threw it in the mail. Literally said he threw it in the mail.
Didn't think about it. Yeah.
Didn't even think about it, and it transformed her whole mindset.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So that's the power that a leader can have, for good or for bad. If you're a negative, divisive person, you're going to have the negative effect on the group. If you're, to me, that coach, he doesn't have to do that. Maybe Mia Hamm becomes who Mia Hamm is. Maybe she doesn't, if that coach, I don't know. But she described that as a transformative moment in her life when she got that note. So I thought that was a pretty cool story about the power of words, the power of a leader, and also for the athlete, is a woman who was probably at the height of her level at that time at UNC playing soccer, that she needed that affirmation to take her to the next level, right? Like, so these kids that are out there battling and having doubts about themselves, like that goes with you all the way through, even though the top athletes, like, they're not always 100% sure that what they're doing is the right thing, and sometimes they need to hear that it is. The last thing I'll talk about is an eagle. Why are you laughing? I'm on a roll.
The animal?
Yeah, the animal. Did you know that an eagle can live for 70 years?
I did not know that.
Yeah. But at about their 40th year, they have to make a decision, because their beak is no longer sharp enough to eat. And this is not a joke.
No, it's not.
Why are you laughing?
Just continue. You're good.
No, what's so funny?
It's nothing funny. Go ahead.
I know it's funny. You saw this too?
Go ahead.
You saw it too, didn't you?
Finish your story. It's good.
The
beak, 40 years.
Yeah, beak is no longer, it's too dull, it can't eat. Its claws are too dull. They can't use their claws to grab anything, and their feathers are too heavy. They can't fly, or they struggle to fly. So they have to make a decision. Either they die, right, because they can't eat, they can't fly, they can't protect themselves, or they have to do a whole transformation. So they will go into the mountains and they will smash their beak on a rock until it is dull, until it falls off. Then they'll grow a new beak. They'll use that new beak to pull their bad claws off. This is all very painful. Now you're making that face. Apparently it's very painful. They talk to the eagles, and the eagle's like, yeah, this hurts big time. Okay. Eddie the eagle is like, yeah, shit hurts. Okay. So now they got a new beak. They pull their claws out. They got new claws. They then pluck all their feathers off, and they get new feathers. And at their 40-year mark of their life, they completely transform themselves into a whole new eagle. And they're able to live for another 30 years, which I think is an amazing story because they are essentially shedding their old self, creating a new self to continue on with their life.
It's like a midlife crisis.
Yeah. I think that has a negative connotation to it, and that wasn't the point of my story. Midlife crisis is like some loser who gets a divorce and goes buys a Ferrari because he's a loser and gets like hair plugs and shit.
Or maybe you're not happy with what you're doing and you make a complete change and rebrand yourself.
But that's positive. You see how that's a different spin than midlife crisis?
Metamorphosis.
Yeah. Yeah, crisis has a bad connotation to it. Right?
Absolutely.
You don't want to go through a crisis.
No.
Although I did hear another thing that sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. You like that
I
one?
do.
Yeah.
I do.
Because you're a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You growing any tomatoes or anything down there?
I don't know yet. We did last year.
Yeah. How'd it come out?
The tomatoes were good.
Yeah.
Jalapenos, everything else was
Mets and Mets?
trash. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be back, Keith.
Oh, it's so good to be back.
I hope that good to be back, Root Beer. Nice to have you. We're going to have a guest. Our next guest is going to be the new girl.
Oh, are we going to do that?
Yeah, we're going to drag her in there next week.
Okay.
Audie?
Audi.
Audie.
Addie.
Addie.
No, it's not Addie.
Audie.
Addie.
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 Audie.
She's Armenian.
There's enough of those in this office.
One's enough. Anyway, thank you for taking the
No, I
time.
appreciate you having me.
Glad
This
to
is
be
great.
back. Renewed energy. Season 7, episode 1 in the books. If anybody needs me, you know where to find me because everybody needs a nudge. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.